I happen to like pinball a lot. I won't go so far as to say I'm good at it, but I like it. I like it enough that I made a multi-hour long video all about the evolution of pinball video games. And you better believe that Alien Crush was a big part of that. But before I get into pinball, Alien Crush is also the PC Engine debut for two very significant players. This is the very first game published by Naxatsoft. They're the number 3 publisher of games on the PC Engine, right behind Hudson and NEC. You know, the two companies that made the PC Engine. So they're the largest and most significant third party. Naxat was the video game division of Kaga Electronics, a company that handled distribution of electronic components. The quick-witted among you may have already noticed that Naxat has connection with another video game publisher, Taxan. Kaga already owned Taxan, which was a British-based software developer, and when they decided to bring some of that development back to Japan, they just flipped the name around. The PC Engine would be the primary focus for Naxatsoft, though they did cross over to other systems from time to time. Alien Crush was developed by Compile, one of the most significant developer for hires of the 80s. Compile had been making a name for themselves for a while at this point, demonstrating some real technical prowess and mastery of the systems they worked on, particularly with Sega, though they also developed whole new techniques for the Famicom that would quickly become required for anyone who wanted to keep a technological edge. To give you an idea of how quickly Alien Crush came together, Naxat Software was formed in late June, and this game was on shelves by mid-September. Even if things were moving before the company was officially founded, that is still pretty fast. And so we come to Alien Crush, a pinball game so revolutionary that for about 10 years, it was considered to be the best pinball video game available on any console. Okay, it had to share that title, but I'll get back to that. When nerds got together and somebody said how much they hated pinball video games, someone would always go, "But have you tried Alien Crush?" A lot of that comes down to understanding table design. 8-bit microprocessors, like the one in the PC Engine, really couldn't do the physics calculations for a good pinball simulator quickly enough to also have it be a good game. And so these 8-bit pinball games figured out ways to cut corners. Most of the time, the corners that they chose to cut were kind of important ones, and the resulting games wound up with really bad physics. Things like balls jiggling constantly, and inconsistent hitting off the flipper. Alien Crush is cheating their physics engine just as much as everyone else was, but here the ball moves smoothly and rebounds feel natural. There are obvious shots that you can try for, and they work well because the flow is consistent. If you want to hit a target, you can have a pretty good idea where the ball needs to be on the flipper in order to do that. The ramps and targets are set up so that you're not just constantly bouncing off empty walls, so even a wild shot has some activity. Alien Crush is a game that, even though it doesn't really feel like pinball, it feels like a video game designed to be like pinball. That's a much better option than trying to be pinball and failing. When you start Alien Crush, you're given your choice to play fast or slow. Personally, I feel like slow is too slow, but it's still a nice option to have for people who aren't very good at pinball. You also get your choice of 2 songs. You can use button 1 to launch the ball, and then it flies to the upper playfield. The table in Alien Crush is split across 2 screens, and if you fall from the upper one, it's not a big deal, because it's fairly easy to shoot up and around and get the ball back into the upper area. You still want to keep the ball up there as long as possible, just so you don't have to worry about losing a ball. It's just that the table design means that dropping down below is far from a ball-ending error. While the table elements are all standard pinball elements, the theming makes them all biomechanical horrors, fairly reminiscent of the creatures from the Alien series. The look of the Alien series was all over Japanese media in the late 80s. And really, can you blame them? It looks cool. It's intriguing how Compile re-themed pinball elements. The giant pulsating brain is a bumper. The squirming mass of tentacles is a knockback. And the alien heads popping out of the walls are drop-down targets. The rollover targets might be the most normal thing here. There are several table elements that take advantage of being a video game. For certain targets, if you strike them 10 times on a single ball, they explode and unleash a monster that you can hit for a huge amount of bonus points. And you can hit this target in the upper area to make these small bumpers reconfigure themselves. Obviously, what configuration the bumpers are in determines how easy certain shots are. Sometimes you can go into an alien's mouth and wind up in a bonus stage. There are 2 different bonus stages. The one in the upper area is a serpent that flies around the screen, and you destroy segments on its body by hitting it with the ball. If you destroy it, then another one comes out, and you just keep doing this until the ball drains. In the lower play area, you go into a swarm of skulls and aliens, and when you strike them with the ball, they might flee down a hole. I found this to be the harder bonus stage because the bumpers in the middle are set up so that the ball will drain if you hit them incorrectly. The useful strategy here is to try to keep the ball going backwards instead of forward. This way you just avoid problems. Like most pinball games, you get 3 balls, so you can earn extra balls if you get enough points. And I have to point out that after you drain your last ball, even if the bonus gets you enough points to earn you an extra ball, it's still game over. But game over isn't necessarily game over. Like real pinball machines, you have a match opportunity, a 1 in 10 shot of earning 1 more ball. If the hundreds digit matches, play continues. Unusually for a pinball game, Alien Crush has an ending. To beat the game, you have to score 1 billion points. Okay, really 999,999,900. That's close enough. The process takes about 2 or 3 hours of continuous play. But if you can pull it off, you get one of the greatest endings of all time. A text screen that says, "Congratulations, you are the greatest player." Yeah, I'm not that good, so I just remade the screen here. You get the idea, though. Alien Crush would be the start of an entire series of pinball video games, and we're going to see only one of those on the PC Engine. That sequel would be the other greatest pinball video game of the era. Alien Crush has a bit of a weird reputation in Japan, because people who are fans of pinball really like it, but there aren't that many fans of pinball. So you get a bit of a mix of people going, "This game's great," and people going, "Why would anyone play something like this?" And I think I've made my own opinion clear at this point. The Crush games are one of the big reasons for getting a PC Engine. It is just that good.